Welcome to Downtime in the Apocalypse, a podcast where Ted talks and Kevin listens. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kevin.
Listeners, we've heard you, we understand, and we'd like to correct some omissions from our last show. We forgot to rate the games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes, we forgot to do that. it's Okay. So Ted, can I give my rating first?
Yes.
Okay. So for my rating for all of the micro RPGs that we played, I'm gonna say just a general all of them, just because I enjoyed all of them a lot. I am going to say, um, 9 out of 9 zombie trash bags.
I would agree.
Yeah, 100% would tell anybody to play these. 100%.
Yeah, same actually, 9 out of 9. I actually played a few with some friends recently. We did, let's see, in order of games I figure to be no, that's not a good way of putting it. I put it in order of how drunk we would probably be through the night. A friend of mine invited me over to.
Oh, intoxication level to game stage.
Yeah, well, he flat out said, "Guys, you keep leaving alcohol at my house every time you come over. It's becoming an issue. Come over. We're cleaning this out."
Okay, so that's that type of night. Okay,
Yeah. Ted brings some games, that sort of thing. So we started with At Your Majesty's Pleasure,
nice. Okay,
where the small Czech province of Rate ended up importing thousands upon thousands of Scottish gladiators, building up the world's finest river navy, and selling opium to all its neighbors.
all right. So pretty successful night for that guy.
Yep. Then followed by the election,
Yes, yes. Another good
where
one.
the Bushido party
Okay, all right.
lost terribly.
Of course. Okay.
Um,
To whom?
the rent is too damn high party.
That's more. That speaks to the people more. So okay.
You'd think that, but no, the rent is too damn high party positioned itself as the central middle of the road party between the Bushido party and the monarchist party.
Oh, and you played the Mart. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm still not entirely sure what their campaign platform was, to be honest. But they ended up winning, so
So yeah.
I guess the whole take no sides, smile at everything, piss off as few people as possible.
It works out sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that might be the best way to campaign.
Yeah. I agree with that entirely. That's that's great. Okay.
And then followed by no mistakes, only deeper plans.
Yes, my
Which,
favorite.
yes, that was good. We ended up going through every Bank of America, trying to figure out which one we used to rob.
All right. Research is very important in these type of things.
Yep, and
Which one is the easiest to rob? You
uh,
think?
no, we actually gave up because it turns out the best thing to do would not be go into the vaults. That's an awful idea. Instead, try to steal people's like safe deposit lock keys. It went into this very interesting commentary on, all right, who in Boston would be easiest to seduce and get their safety deposit box key? Marty Walsh ended up being the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's an accurate. Yeah. You know what, Ted? In case this all fails and doesn't work out, I know what to do now.
Seduce Marty Walsh?
Well, have someone we know and work together to seduce Marty Walsh. I don't know if Marty Walsh would be interested in either one of us.
I have no idea what he's into, so.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
All
Maybe
right.
it would be. Yeah, who knows?
Now, secondly, a development. This happened right after the show, and I really wish it didn't. I wish we took a break and then did this.
Yeah.
Kevin had me try his, like, craft
pickles.
There we go.
Yeah.
They were excellent.
Yes. Yes. I've converted another one to the pickle lord.
Yeah, now I actually tried pickles on a sandwich the next day to see if it's wrong, and I think this goes in the same category of mustard, where, like, I hate the generic mustard. I cannot stand yellow mustard.
Yeah, but if it's good.
Yeah, but, like, I used to go to a pub to do trivia all the time.
Yeah.
And they had, like, special mustards with their soft pretzels every week.
And
9 out of 10 times they were amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it's that sort of thing where it's like, well, the generic stuff, eh.
Yeah.
I'm sort of a pickle snob, if you will.
I mean, to be fair, I'm also a pickle snob. I cannot stand the generic brand of pickles. I have to have my maple bourbon or my mango habanero or some sort of specialty brand.
Yeah. So the mango habanero was good. I was shocked how much I enjoyed the maple bourbon, though.
Yeah, because you're not a big kind of bourbon flavor kind of guy.
No, I don't like bourbon. I don't like whiskey.
Yep, yep.
But this was really sweet and really good.
Mm. Nice little spice at the back end too, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed both of them, much to my surprise.
Yeah, I'm thinking next time when we make some coffee here, right? Put some cinnamon in there, maybe some cayenne pepper, ground it all together, and make the best dang coffee Ted's ever tasted.
You say that, but I had that literally 2 days ago, and it wasn't bad.
Okay, really? Okay, then I gotta try to make this myself here. Let's see how that works out.
Kevin, the fact that it's you making it makes me more worried than the combination.
uh, okay, that's fair. Just because I don't know anything about anything, so yeah, even doing this podcast right now, it's all kind of just going off the what is it, skin of my teeth.
Welcome to Downtown the Apocalypse, a show where everything's made up and the points don't
Don't
matter.
matter. That was my favorite show as a kid.
No, same. That was an amazing show.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's Whose Line Is It Anyway? One of the best improv shows ever made.
Do you think anyone doesn't know what that is?
I'm gonna say like maybe some people who are well, I know my friend Chris from England doesn't know, and he listens to this podcast, so he's from like England.
That's fair. I know there's at least a couple Belgians and a Slovenian listening too, so maybe they
So
don't know.
yeah, exactly. So we might as well as explain
Yeah,
that.
I'm always surprised of like what parts of culture has like crossed our borders and what hasn't.
Yeah.
Like I made a joke about Balto at one point. It's like Balto didn't travel all across the Yucatan for you not to vaccinate your kids, and the answer was, "Who's Balto?" And I'm
uh,
like, How has so much crossed oceans, and
yes.
you have not been blessed with the wonders of Balto?"
Balto. Yep. Yep. That that feels. I don't know how niche Balto is, but I think like everyone should know about Balto, right?
Yeah, like I mean, to anyone who doesn't know, Balto was a
So we have to explain it again.
yeah. I just realized we're gonna have to explain Balto. Balto was one of a few sled dogs that
He was the best sled dog, by the way.
who basically brought a bunch of medicine when the rider was off the sled
Yeah.
to people in need. He was actually just one of the dogs and wasn't the lead, but they chose him because he had the best name.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. That's
I forget the actual dog's name, though. I think the remake movie is named after the correct dog.
it's like the right dog.
No, I
And
mean,
you have like Balto in the back. Like, well, I wish it was about me.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, Balto was one of the sled dogs. Like, let's
Right.
not.
Right. It's a team effort.
Yeah, let's not
You're
throw too
saying
much shade at
it's
Balto.
it's a team effort. Okay. But he wasn't the lead dog.
Yeah, it just seems weird that he was the one they named after.
I mean, if you got a good name,
Yeah, true.
that's why some people in Hollywood don't make it. They change their names to be like more stage worthy, as they say.
True.
Like my name's not actually Kevin; it's actually Bjork, and Ted's actual name isn't Ted; it's actually Zork. And we can't, yeah, we can't.
Welcome to Zork and Bjork.
Where Zork talks and Bjork listens. Yeah,
I'm Zork.
I'm Bjork, and then yeah, see, it wouldn't have the same kind of vibe to it. You need Ted and Kevin. Works much better, I think.
Hard disagree, Kevin. But anyways,
You're the one who told me to do this.
shh, they don't know that. Anyways,
okay.
all right, Kevin.
Whatever you say, Zork.
Less about what we've done in the past. What have you done this week? I've kind of already went over what I've done this week to amuse myself. It's
Yeah.
mostly played the games we played last week with friends.
Yeah, but, so not with me. So
No friends, plural.
Okay. I'm just kidding.
Dear God, we had to basically pretend to be 4 people at one point.
That's true, and I think that requires more friendship than real friends.
I guess.
I guess, yeah, special type of friendship. So for this week, I have been doing just a little bit of movie watching, as I like to do by myself sometimes. And one movie I watched was Parasite. Have you heard of Parasite?
Heard of? Yes. Seen? No.
Okay. So Parasite is an amazing movie that I've seen several times now. It won the Best Picture award, and it's a fantastic Korean film. Korean films in general are all pretty great, I would have to say.
No,
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah. So like I Saw the Devil, or another good Korean film is like The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which I love a lot. The Good, Bad, and the Weird is like a play off The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, but
which I have seen, Kevin.
Yeah,
Don't try to make me watch The Good, Bad, the Ugly.
yeah. Okay, I won't.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I would never threaten you with a good time. Something that's coming up that's going to be just making you so happy is going to be in the future here. But regardless, um, Parasite is an amazing Korean film that I suggest everybody watches. They're coming out with a new like Blu-ray release where you can see it in black and white, and it has like extra things going on with like the story. And I love black and white movies. They're pretty awesome in general. I like that old timey kind of effect where just you don't see like the contrast of color is very interesting. You can make like the depth of field with some scenes like very I'm looking for a good word, but just impactful.
Yeah. So, in that case, how do you feel about Clerks?
Not a big fan of Clerks.
But it's in black and white to be impactful.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, on a more
Serious note.
no, I stand by that.
Okay, fine.
On a different note, like where it does go on more than what you think.
Yeah,
There's several like mods, ROM hacks of like games I've seen
yeah.
where they've particularly Pokemon for some reason when they try to make like a story in those. And I don't lie, but like there's a legitimate detective story ROM hack in one of them,
Oh, okay, right.
and it's a completely black and white except blood, and blood
Mm.
is very rarely shown.
Yeah, have you ever seen Sin City?
No,
Okay, Sin City is a movie where the whole thing's like in black and white, except like there's certain colors. Like one guy has orange blood, right? And he's a serial like think Harvey Weinstein, like that kind of guy.
okay,
Yeah, and he gets like shot, and when he like leaves like a trail, it's like orange blood flowing around in this black and white kind of world. Everything's like CGI, but yeah, I that's a cool kind of ROM hack thing I would like to play. Have you played like a lot of those before?
I've played a few. I'm not gonna lie, I generally look up reviews or like let's plays of them more than playing them myself.
That's fair. Yeah.
Mostly because some of them are painfully buggy.
Yeah. So rather not deal with that. I get you. I get you.
Yeah, I've played a few Pokemon ROM hacks in the past, and honestly, some of them are fine.
Yeah. Some of them are not.
Yeah, I feel like you have to do a lot of research to find out.
What the good ones are.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your since it's almost Hallows Eve,
Hmm.
almost Halloween, or it is Halloween, whatever. And whenever you're listening to this, what is your you know what creepypastas are?
Yes.
Okay. Um I personally hate creepypastas kind of with like a passion
Oh,
because I feel like they're so low effort sometimes.
oh. Sometimes yes. There's some
Yeah.
awful ones.
Yeah, and there's some good ones too, I'm sure. I just haven't spent enough time because you have to filter through all the bad ones to find the good ones. Like what my biggest thing is I hate the haunted video game cartridge thing where it's yeah, so the video game cartridge was left by somebody who died, and the video game got evil, and then Mario started bleeding from his eyes, and he went wahoo, but it went like wahoo, and then that's the creepypasta.
Yeah, those are very low effort creepypastas, and I feel like they're very common.
Yeah, so it's like it's like trying to watch TV, and you have to filter through like a million terrible soap operas to find a one decent show.
I feel like that's just TV, Kevin.
There's yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
Yeah, I mean
so
that's
I don't watch TV anymore because that's a thing.
that's true. You'd be a lot pickier now. With YouTube has, I mean, my one complaint about its algorithm isn't that it shows me like the only things I want to watch. Is it shows me only things I've watched before.
Oh God,
Like I tend to
yeah,
rewatch videos. Like that's literally how I fall asleep a lot of the time. Is just having some voices in the background talking about something familiar.
yeah. Same here, same here.
But man, I really could use some new content. Like, can you give me something similar?
Yeah, something something similar yet different that I
Yeah.
have not heard before.
Can I get someone else explaining ancient Roman elections?
Yes,
Are there
okay.
any other Warhammer lore content creators out there?
Can I get someone else reading My Immortal to me in like a funny voice?
Kevin, I feel like there was a time and a place for that, and it's past.
I've got to show you a video.
I think I've probably seen it.
Probably have. Have you ever heard of Internet Historian?
Yes.
Okay, so you have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Internet historian. For some reason, the fall of '76, his review of it
Oh,
is one of the most common things suggested to me on my YouTube algorithm, which
yeah.
is a very good one actually. It's probably his like best video.
Yeah, I would say it's like his magnum opus.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Its
Yeah.
magnum opus is the fall of '76,
Yeah.
and it just keeps coming up, Kevin.
It keeps on coming. It's like a plague.
Yeah, it's like show me some of his other stuff, people.
I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of the other stuff. I saw his thing on like Rainforest and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you seen his Incognito channel?
yes, but only a little bit.
Okay. He's got Sonic High School.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's also hilarious in itself. And he also has like a few like interesting stories of uh an art thief or a group of art thieves like trying to take like some priceless art and trying to sell it, and then like the real life story behind that as
Oh, that's
well.
cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting and funny. And then he has like etiquette and like art and like architecture and like stuff. Like I love this guy. Internet Historian is one of the best dudes in the world. I love that man.
Yeah. So Kevin, since you like that, have you seen Down the Rabbit Hole?
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of similar. It's in a less comedic style.
It's more, yeah, it's more serious.
Yeah, they're both documentary-ish people.
Yeah,
Um, Down the Rabbit Hole is much more serious.
it is super much more serious. Yeah.
However, the content isn't.
No, like, what was the one about like the people who believe they were Final Fantasy characters? Was it
Yeah,
Final Fantasy House?
I think so. I don't really remember. The one I was like, it's burned in my brain is the first one,
Yeah.
and it was the story of Boston's first cat cafe
Yes. Okay.
and the horrible mismanagement and possible animal cruelty.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Kevin, I don't know about you, but I'm an animal lover. I would totally go to a cat cafe. I have been weirdly tempted by the idea of goat yoga.
What? Can you tell me what that is?
Oh, yeah, it's this one that you're like doing yoga. There's a bunch of goats around you.
Gotta take that in for a second. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Uh,
I can see a certain appeal.
yeah. Or the one bar I've always wanted to go to is Fido's. Are you familiar with this?
Is that just like a dog bar?
It's a bar that's also a dog shelter.
Oh, okay.
So there's dogs there, but they're from the local pound. They're like
Mm.
to be adopted, friendly, ready.
Aw.
Kind of like people have got through and getting used to people, and then
Yeah.
you would have a few drinks, pet a dog, and then okay, which one seems friendliest or likes you more after a night? It's like perfect. I'll bring that one home.
That sort of plays into the drunk inhibitions of people just wanting to like, oh, dude, I just had like 5 beers. Now it's time for a dog. All right.
Yeah.
No,
Well, also, I mean,
walking him home.
I'm definitely never going there. Like,
Yeah, because you would have. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like there's a meme I saw where it's like you go there, have a few drinks, and you're walking 12 dogs. And I'm like, that wouldn't be me, but it'd be really hard to not come out with a dog.
There's a French bulldog there. I'm not going.
All right, Kevin, things I'll research later. I'll give you updates on how many French bulldogs are in Fidos.
How many French bull? That'd be kind of like that'd be kind of nice if they had like a pairing with a dog. Like, okay, you want to pet the Yorkish Terrier? Here's like a thing of Scottish whiskey. So you want to pet the Golden Retriever? Here's like a Sex on the Beach. Like, and that also sounds weird, but
Yeah, Kevin.
I should have picked like a different thing. I don't know, like a blueberry lemonade vodka
Sure. I'm just worried that you're going to put other sexual drinks with
next to
dogs.
dogs.
Oh, yes, a dachshund. Here's a slippery nipple.
No, a buttery nipple, my friend.
Isn't there just a drink called a blowjob?
Yeah, yeah. There.
Oh,
Well, it's like a shooter, like a shot or something.
oh, okay. Yeah, that goes with the wiener dog.
Oh, you are a.
Yeah, you started this, Kevin.
I
don't
didn't
you?
start anything.
You literally
I
said
didn't
golden
start.
retriever
Your
sex on
your
the beach.
sick mind just went there. All right, I was going like from a positive, normal place, and your just sick mind just went there, Ted. Just went there.
Listeners, you decide.
You decide, indeed. So we talked about things we did this week.
Yep.
Have you tried anything new for your stockpile for the apocalypse, my friend?
Actually, I've tried a couple of things. I'm only gonna go through one of them this time. So I went out into the world,
Okay, sorry.
and there's a local diner
Yeah.
called like Dashboard Diner,
Okay.
and I finally tried a grilled peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, I've never heard of that. All right.
Yeah, like they specialize in stuff like that. They were trying to get me to put bacon in it, but I don't eat meat.
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, yeah.
Um,
Veggie bacon.
I might have. I don't. That being said, after having it without any sort of bacon,
Yeah.
pretty sure I'm never gonna have one again.
Uh, so you're telling me it wasn't a good experience?
No. Okay. Look, warm peanut butter already has a way worse texture and taste than room temperature or cold peanut butter.
I okay. I don't know if I've ever had like the opportunity to eat warm peanut butter per se.
Yeah, it's not even like bad. Like if you ever have like, let's say a peanut butter brownie or cookie that's really fresh,
Well, yeah, that's
the
fine.
yeah, but the taste of the peanut butter is way different than when it's cold.
Yeah, or room temperature or
Yeah, I
whatever.
do
Yeah.
not like that particular taste
Okay.
nearly as much. I'm not saying it's an awful taste.
But it's just like something you don't enjoy.
Yeah, but also it's super runny.
Uh oh, that's okay.
So it was very hard to eat.
Was like the peanut butter runny or like the jelly also runny?
Both, but peanut butter to a significantly higher extent.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Did you here's a big thing with like diners and food places in general. Like do you complain about how like and I'm sure they recommended it to you.
Yes.
So do you complain about the recommendation? Like do you when they ask because they always ask every single time and it's like, "Oh, did you enjoy it?"
I could never say no.
I That's the thing. Why like what am I supposed to say? Like am I supposed to like look at you with like a deadpan face and tell you like, "Oh, I hated it?"
Yeah, it's like
Like,
yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to say, ma'am, you can clearly see the stains on my shirt. Why are you asking if I
yeah,
enjoyed this?
yeah. I can see you looking at my stains and then just asking me this really redundant question.
Yeah, oh, it was sucked to eat. I cannot stress how much. I ended up eating it with a knife and fork.
I guess to avoid like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
was a sandwich
uh
though.
do did people look at you weird when you're eating like a sandwich with a knife and fork?
Okay, so thankfully, the only people there, like at any table nearby, they actually have outdoor seating. I'm not
Right.
gonna throw shade at this place. They actually have quite good food.
Yeah, yeah.
But they have outdoor seating
Right.
only. They were like literally a trailer, and they're all very far apart. So the only people that saw this were my students, who were way more sympathetic than I would give them credit for. Because
Oh,
like
okay.
they were like, I was asking like, does anyone know how I'm supposed to eat this sort of deal?
Yeah, yeah.
And all of them like, no. Why did you order that?
Because it was recommended to me.
Like,
Maybe like the bacon is a good structural integrity kind of thing of the sandwich. Like if you don't have the bacon, like it just falls apart. That's why they recommended the bacon to you. It holds back the peanut butter.
so what? Do they just put like a? Is it just like a square wall of
A
bacon
bacon. It's just like the
on the edges
yeah,
of it?
well, it's like layered. So you have like a dam. It's like a dam. So you have like the peanut butter and jelly, bacon dam, peanut butter and jelly, bacon dam, peanut butter and jelly, bacon dam, and then it just doesn't like flow out that way.
Like it's a lot of effort and a weirdly large amount of bacon.
Yeah,
Actually,
well, I mean, like, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that, but also I'm not a chef, so what do I know?
it's true.
So wouldn't recommend the peanut butter and jelly grilled sandwich.
No, no. If you're gonna go there, just get like their jalapeno fries or their floats or something. They have good food
Oh,
there.
jalapeno fries sounds
Yeah, they
awesome.
have great food there. I
Yeah,
once again, I don't eat meat. I don't know what their meat's like. My students seem to have enjoyed it,
yeah.
but their ice cream is good.
No, all right, all right. I mean, something I've been stockpiling on just like a little bit is cheese spread. So I've been like on this diet forever, and I have to take whatever small amount of pleasures I can get from anything. And one of those things is Laughing Cow cheese spread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Kevin, when you said cheese spread, my brain went to like cheese and a like whipped cream
oh,
topping thing.
like cheese spray.
Yeah, my brain went
Yeah.
to that, and I
Yeah.
was very confused by this.
I I would I've never had like a cheese spray before, but one of my favorite things I've ever heard from you know who Gwyneth Paltrow is?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, so you know the creator of Goop and Goop.com. She had like this one quote where she said like, "I would rather take heroin than eat cheese from a tin
one would definitely be more pleasant.
than the other." Yeah, but one would be also well, she's nuts and a crazy person. So
Yeah, wasn't there like dear God? At one point,
allegedly a crazy person.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
At one point, I went through Goop.com.
Oh, you did? Okay. So what was the do you like the book? Like how goopy are you?
No,
How about the the magic stones that ward off vampires?
honestly, Kevin, I found the vaginal section, and there was just a jade egg you put up there, and I gave up immediately.
Oh god, a jade egg?
I could be wrong. It was some sort of egg
Don't
thing you
look it
put up
up. Don't look it up. We'll just like continue with the mystery here. That's fine.
Kevin, I mean, unless something has happened and she's taken this off her website, probably for being sued, saying this has medical properties or something.
I mean, here's my thing. Like recent coronavirus, right?
Yes.
One contributor for Goop, right, came out and said that coronavirus doesn't exist. So there was that, and then Goop turned around and said like, "Oh yeah, we don't know her. We believe in coronavirus, and also here's some magic supplements that can help you with that."
Yeah. Goop.
Oh, Goop.
All right, Kevin. Let's. I can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
Let's pivot subjects. Get on task for once in our lives, and go on to the movie you maybe watched this week.
Okay, so because it's a spooky, scary Halloween, sending shivers down my spine, I decided to make Watch Dead one of my favorite horror movies. And that horror movie was Event Horizon.
Kevin, why are you saying it like that?
Like what?
Horror.
Horror? That's how you say it.
Horror.
Horror.
Yeah, no, that sounds like we're doing. But anyways, yeah, Event Horizon. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. This is the best movie Kevin's maybe watched so far. That's only three, but
But still, we got like a good grading curve going on so far.
yeah, no, it went from good to dumpster fire to exquisite.
I don't know why you call Adam's Family a dumpster fire, but that's fine. Whatever you got to say, Ted. It's one of my favorite movies. But whatever you have to say, that's fine.
I'm looking for something I can hit Kevin with that won't break any.
Well, I was going to say the hat. Okay. Oh, all right. Make sure it's the back of the head. I don't want to think anymore. Thank you.
I think this is the
That's a Guitar Hero guitar.
okay. I wasn't sure. I thought it was Rock Band for a second.
I think it's Guitar Hero. Yeah, it's Guitar Hero. I never had Rock Band.
Okay, I never really played either, so
Yeah, that's fine. It's a bad way to learn guitar.
yeah, I was trying to learn guitar at the time, and I failed at it because it turns out it's a miserable, miserable art.
So would you recommend the banjo instead?
No, if you're gonna learn a string instrument, do it when you're young.
Oh, okay, because it's a miserable art to learn now because your fingers get
Yeah,
all screwed up.
it's not even that. It's just like it was so like foreign to me. It's just very boring and dull.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I feel like if you're gonna learn music, you
Yeah.
have two windows in your life, and only one if you want to be good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like you either have to be below 10, preferably way below 10,
Yeah.
or above 40.
That's it. Okay. That's too. You know what? We still have time for you.
Yeah. In my later years, I might take up the banjo or
Yeah,
something.
like 2 years from now.
30, Kevin. I'll be 30 then, despite how much I look. A friend
You
of mine.
don't look old. All right.
What was it? Your cousin or like friend of yours thought I was your uncle?
Oh, well, okay. So we went to this sports place where we played like kickball and slapball and a bunch of other things. They had a great old time. They had like a giant Jenga set.
That was amazing.
This is all pre-COVID, by the way, is years ago, year or two ago. But one thing that happened was a friend of mine that I knew for since I was like a kid. She looked at me and said, "Oh, hey, Kevin, it's really nice you invited your uncle here." And she was talking about Ted. So
Kevin and I are the same age.
we are the same age. Yeah, both going on like 90 years old. So we're both doing pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking with a friend of mine recently, kind of about this.
Yeah.
And he's like, a friend of mine's a pastor, and he kind of like he went gray at the same age you started balding.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it made him look older, so all of his parishioners would listen to him more.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
That's sort of like I don't know. It's sort of like when you are a kid and then you don't want to be asked for your ID.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll just go gray. This should have no adverse effects with me for the rest of my life. Oh, everyone thinks I'm 60 when I'm actually like 20.
Yeah, but well, when you look like the guy who just like looks in really good shape with salt and pepper hair. No
Yeah,
one thinks you're young. Everyone just thinks you're amazingly healthy.
yeah, which is nice. That's really
Yeah,
great.
that's not a bad way of putting it. If everyone
Right.
just thinks like, "Oh man, he looks amazing for his
Yeah.
age. He's taking really good care of
Look at this
himself."
silver fox over
Right?
here.
Like
Yeah.
that's not a bad place to be.
Speaking of silver foxes and people who do not age, one of the main stars in Event Horizon is Morpheus.
Yes, whose name I real name I don't know.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very bad with actor names. I try not to learn them. I feel, no, not even joking. I feel like it kind of ruins the experience of the movie if I know who that person's name is.
Oh, okay.
If I keep
That's
them
an
as
interesting thought.
if I keep them as like floating personalities,
Right.
it makes me easier to like buy into the fiction.
Oh, okay. But would you like if you don't know that actor's name, would you see like a movie just because that person's face is in it or something? You know what I mean? Like
Honestly, that was a selling point in me watching John Wick for the first time.
John Wick is amazing,
John,
by the
John
way.
Wick movies are amazing, and
I'm so sad you saw them.
I saw them all in one day.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Legitimately, a friend of mine uh, found out I had not seen them on the day John Wick 3 got released on Amazon Prime,
Yep.
and we watched all three in an ultra marathon of John Wick films.
John Wick is so good.
Yeah.
I love that series so much.
But anyways, back on target, Kevin. We gotta
Yeah.
stay on target.
You gotta
Stay on target.
stay on task. Stay
Um,
on yeah, yes.
so, anyways, Event Horizon. All right. So, two things about this movie that I thought were interesting.
Okay.
Number one, it was one of the few movies in history, to my understanding, that hit its genre.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So,
Yeah.
Event Horizon is 100% a horror movie.
Yeah.
You could watch it. There is no doubt.
Well, what kind of movie?
Horror.
Yeah. Horror.
All right. It's 100% that.
Yeah.
However, the first bit, it's just a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
The-
it really kind of like gradually gets you to the horror aspects of it. It kind of builds up like the world around it first.
Yeah, no, it's a slow burn. It's good for it.
Yeah.
And from what I learned about the movie, I didn't do too much research, but I've asked a few film buff friends of mine.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a reveal that it was a horror movie.
Yeah, so yeah, like even if you see like the poster or anything else like that,
Yeah.
it's just like Lawrence Fishburne and a couple other actors like on like a giant ship.
Yeah, so this keeps coming up. I think years ago it came up as like a Netflix recommendation,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was some generic sci-fi movie.
Oh. Okay, gotcha.
Now, secondly, there's two versions of this film, Kevin.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. So certain parts of this movie get rather disturbing
Yeah.
to the point where it was kept out of the theatrical release.
Oh, okay. I have not seen like the other version of this, so I've just seen the theatrical one.
This was the one we saw was the theatrical release.
I'm pretty sure that was the theatrical release. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Like with like the hooks like leaving that guy's stomach open and everything.
spoilers, Kevin. But yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't know which guy.
Tell Kevin, I don't even remember which guy. But wow, if that's the theatrical, like, look, man, there's some dark stuff in that and like weird stuff. And don't get me wrong, I think it's good for the movie. I'm not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
arguing against it. But if that's the theatrical version, man, what's the real one look like?
I'm pretty sure that's the theatrical version, and the real one's probably got more more blood and guts and more fun. I would say.
Okay, so we're going to back up once again. While I'm telling the story, I make only vague promises that I'll be in chronological order.
Yep, and
And-
then I'm like his guardrails to make sure that everything kind of goes the right way.
Yeah. So it starts off in the next 50 years or so.
Yep. In like 2009 or 2005, they managed to discover water on like a different Mars or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
kind of generic space colonization. They start
Yeah.
mining the asteroids and
Yeah.
made a base on the moon and
Yeah,
Mars.
and then 2040, and then 20, I don't know, 50 is when
Yeah.
we're kind of starting off
Yeah,
here.
it's kind of like the weird part of sci-fi that I always feel like it's kind of shafted, where it's like, yeah, there isn't the really cool stuff. We don't go faster than light or anything,
Right.
but we control our solar system.
Yeah. We are we have control over nature basically at this point,
Yeah,
except for maybe the Event Horizon.
yeah. So a team of salvage operators.
um, not so much salvage operators, more like search and rescue.
Okay, search and rescue.
Yeah.
team is contacted and kind of conscripted by a scientist. What's the scientist's name again, Kevin?
Scientist's name is Dr. Weir.
Yes, Dr. Weir, who I was hoping it would be like spelled weird,
Oh, well, I mean, I
but
think
not like
that's
but
yeah.
like the Norse word for fate or magic.
Oh, that'd be smart. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
not the traditional weird spelling we do for like that's a bit odd. I mean like weird
right,
like, written in one's weird, one's,
yeah,
path in the world.
right, and that would be like a good little Easter egg right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what weird means. I'm assuming it's the way they spelt it German, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
And they're going to Neptune, which is already super rare. Not many people go out that far.
Right.
And they weren't told at first why they're going, but they're going to find the wrecks of the Event Horizon.
Yes, a ship who's been gone for like 7 years.
Yes, and the one thing that's interesting about this ship is it was the first prototype for faster than light travel.
Yes, which is a very interesting premise that gets used a lot more later in science fiction, which is interesting.
Yeah, way more. We'll talk
Yeah,
about that way more because it's the base of a lot of stuff.
yeah.
I mean, there's a certain point where he just sits the Doctor Weird sits the crew of this vessel around and is kind of explaining the gravity drive.
Right.
And I've never seen this movie. I knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
Like, he takes a piece of paper, he draws 2 points, and goes, "What's the shortest distance, or what's the shortest? What was the exact quote? What's the shortest
What's the shortest
route between 2 points or something?"
yeah.
And literally, I just said, "Oh, he's folding the paper, isn't he?"
Yeah.
And one guy says a line, and the guy goes, "No," and then he folds the paper,
Yeah.
puts the hole. It's like nothing is the closest because you can just fold space around.
Yep. And then you could just like go from that one point to the other. There you
Yeah,
go.
that I don't know if this is the first instance of that being used, but it's the oldest one that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either personally, but there probably was like maybe a science fiction book that had that before. I would think. Like I don't even know if Dune had that before, but
Dune didn't. Dune Hyperdrive was weird, and you need people to see the future in order to do it with accuracy.
yeah, okay, that is very much Dune. So it's
Yeah, Kevin, I've read, I think, all of the Dune books,
mm,
including like the prequels a few million years in the past.
okay. So you,
I
yeah,
went through a Dune phase in high school. I don't look. I don't claim to remember most of them. I only reread one of them as an adult.
right. Okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
But like Dune gets weird.
uh,
Dune, the
Dune
first
Dune
book
is
is
weird.
weird,
Dune is weird.
but it gets weirder.
Okay, I mean that's the only thing I can expect out of Dune, really, because that was I've seen the movie first, and then I went back to go like read the books.
Ugh,
Yeah,
ugh.
and Dune the movie is not good.
No.
That's bad sci-fi.
Oh, okay. Legitimately, my biggest complaint of
Yeah,
the Dune movie is they wasted Patrick Stewart.
yeah,
'Cause
they did.
I thought he would have been a great. To anyone who doesn't know, Duke, it's this weird space feudalism thing. We're
Yeah,
not going to talk about it too long because
we have to talk about Event Horizon.
But the main character is called Paul Atreides,
Yeah,
and he's fine. The casting's for him pretty good. But Patrick Stewart plays his swords master, Duncan Idaho,
yes,
which is or I feel like that should be the name of the Duncan Empire general or something.
Duncan, Idaho. Oh, he's based in Idaho. Duncan of Idaho.
Duncan of Idaho. I was wondering when we were going to talk about the Empire here. It's been 41 minutes and we haven't mentioned it yet. So
Oh yeah, we have to talk about the Empire every 38 minutes. Ugh. Okay,
we'll mention
so
it twice soon.
yeah. We'll pave it over. It's fine.
Edit, Kevin, edit.
They know when I edit. Okay. Anyway, so Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, and that's a fine choice, but I thought it was weird having him not play Paul's father.
Yeah, that would have been, I think, a better role for him in general. But yeah, I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
yeah, that's it. I mean, his father is supposed to be this lord that keeps his people in line is a bad term, but like stable
Right.
through like grand spectacle and show and everything.
Yeah,
His
sort of like the Gladiator. Well,
his father died in a bullfighting match.
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Like the crescendo is a term for him. Like he likes making people happy. He's the charismatic leader archetype.
Right. Yeah.
But well, you don't think of Patrick Stewart as like the rock star.
No.
If Patrick Stewart's talking on something, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
Like that's every time he walks and talks, it's a show.
It is. Yes, it is. It is. Um, and I don't want to get too far away from this, but I did not enjoy Picard, which I don't think you.
I have not seen.
Yeah,
Honestly, I have no desire to see it either.
don't watch it.
I have not been tempted by new Star Trek.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that like some other time.
Yeah,
But
I feel like that's a personal conversation me and Kevin are gonna have.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, Event Horizon, back on target, stay on target.
Stay on target.
All right, so they end up like going into like this cryo sleep for a couple months.
Stasis. Yeah.
Stasis. They get there for a little bit. They can't go fast and light, but they can go pretty fast.
And what's interesting too is Doctor Weir during this whole time keeps on having dreams of his wife during this whole kind of time. You see like an opening with him and his wife, just kind of like, what's this about? She looks like she might be dead or something similar. Has like another dream about his wife in cryostasis, and then for some reason she doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
They get to the Event Horizon.
Yes.
They start boarding it.
Yep.
And they scan it for life signatures, which I've never fully understood what that means.
I assume it's like body heat, I guess.
Just say heat.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. Like, like I don't know, but I guess body heat or like if you're breathing, like I don't know.
Yeah. But they scan and they're getting weird signs.
Yeah.
Sometimes it says it's everywhere. Sometimes it's nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go on. Everything seems fine.
Yeah.
They do discover like a couple messages.
Right. Right.
Both are that are terrifying, I should say.
Yes.
And
It's just like screaming and yelling and someone speaking in Latin.
yeah, which by the way, Latin is like objectively the creepiest language. Like say, well, things are like bad things are happening.
Let's say Latin and German.
Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine when he like
Nothing against Germany, by the
yeah,
way.
no, a friend of mine broke his arm and shoulder at one point,
Yeah.
and like when he was being taken away in the ambulance,
Yeah.
he just started shouting the Our Father in Latin over and over again.
That sounds so terrifying. Okay.
You know who you are. You're listening to this. I know you are.
Yeah, I know. I'm in your ears right now. You know you're listening. So okay. So yes.
And it says
yeah.
in Latin, "Free me."
Liberté me or liberté me or like yeah, save me or free me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a movie.
True. Admittedly, my Latin's not great, so I'm not going to judge it. But I don't think that's what it.
Yeah. 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 No, I get you.
It's close enough, but
Yeah, it's close enough for a movie. Yeah.
yeah. They go through and they find a couple things. One, a flat out corpse.
Yep. A frozen ice corpsicle, they call it.
Yeah. But also, there's like blood on the windows for no reason at certain points.
It's not even just like blood,
It's
but
like viscera and
yeah, it's like a I guess like the ship has been frozen for a little bit because like 7 years.
Yeah.
But it's like it's something you would see in hell, basically. It's they have like a skull and then just like around the skull is just a bunch of like red meat.
yeah.
So it's not like body parts, it's just like a skull, red meat, and looks like spider webs of different meat sacks going on.
Yeah. And the other thing that happens is their youngest member
Yep.
finds
The gravity core?
the gravity core.
The gravity core.
Um,
I don't know why we talked like that.
we do that.
I don't know. That's just going off of you, dude. All right, so
And
yeah, and the
all right.
gravity core is how they do that faster than light travel.
yeah, and the gravity core is the first like side I realized this is a horror movie of some sort.
Yeah, because it looks like the most evil invention ever made.
Yeah, so it's some sort of metal sphere
Yeah,
with 3 metal rotating rings around it.
yeah, 3 like magnetic fields.
Yeah, and when they align correctly, they make a black hole.
Yes, an artificial black hole which allows you to collapse the space in between the two and then travel through that basically.
Now, the room around it is equally creepy because for some reason,
There's like a metal tube that leads into it that's like looks like a meat grinder.
yeah, it's a meat grinder. The door for some reason is spiky, like it's this weird like
Yeah, like
closing from 4 angles sci-fi door, and there's
it's the best way to describe it is a sci-fi door.
it's really that's the best way I can think of it.
Yeah.
You've seen these before. They're in sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Not the cool ones that are like from Star Trek, the other kind.
Yeah.
that for some reason just have these long metal spikes on them.
Yeah, like they like kind of hook into each other. It's like if you get your arm stuck in there, you get like four metal spikes in your arm, and you just get cut off.
Yeah, I cannot figure out a reason. That was the first hint that there's something up with this.
Yeah, there's a sinister side to this ship.
Yeah. Then the actual room itself has these metal panels with sort of these spiky things on them.
Yes,
They
yes.
screw off for like access and everything apparently, but still, it's made to look very sinister.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, it like a gothic it looks like a gothic terrible torture chamber basically to me. Like
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. So their youngest member, who for some reason is occasionally called Baby Bear.
Well, yeah, like yeah, you sort of have like those nicknames for like different people and everything like in your crew like one of them's like, oh, the skipper or a captain or like, Mama Bear who should take care of everybody, whatever.
See, I was thinking
Yeah.
like more like Scotty and
Scotty
Bones.
and Bone. Well, yeah. Oh, took everything but my bones. That was such a stupid thing in that movie.
Yeah. Anyways,
They
but
call me Scotty because I'm Scottish. Do you want to not talk about that movie?
I really don't want to talk about that movie.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
I don't
enough.
really want to talk about any Star Trek movie.
Um, uh, first one's good.
Yeah, second one's all right.
Third one's eh. And after that,
Spock talks to whales. Anyways,
it was arguably to me the best one.
I'm sure it is, Kevin. I'm sure it is.
It was most fun. I don't know. Looking for nuclear vessels or vessels?
So, anyways,
Anyway, sorry.
he gets the Baby Bear, whatever his real name is.
Yeah.
Goes in. He's part of the initial crew that goes around. He's like in a spacesuit and everything.
Yeah, because like everything's shut off. No, there's no oxygen. And everything's like freezing cold.
Yeah, and while he's there, the gravity drive activates
By itself.
Yes, and no one believes him, by the way, especially Doctor Weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, not even he said it. Like the other crew member saw like him go into
Yeah.
the gravity. Basically, the three rings align, like you said, and creates like this black goo in the center, and that's like the black hole, basically. And he floats on in there. He gets like dragged on in because he stupidly reaches inside of it.
yeah, yeah.
Baby Bear does a bad thing.
I did a bad thing. Yeah. No, like admittedly, he like starts like playing with it a little bit, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he reaches in.
It reminds me of like Prometheus when they like play with like that worm.
Yeah, people, if there's anything weird in space,
Don't touch it.
yeah, honestly,
He's like an engineer. You should know this.
I don't know why he thought this was a good idea.
Well, I don't know why either. Just like okay, weird gateway. Reach in there.
All right, I know this makes a black hole.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know that.
Oh, they explained that on the ship that's what the gravity drive did.
So they didn't get to that point
Oh.
like initially. It was just that it collapses space, and they didn't say how it exactly collapses space.
Either way,
Because
this
Doctor
thing-
Weird's a jerk
Yeah,
who doesn't like coffee.
the character. That was my first tip on him that he might be a
The
villain.
evil, yeah.
Yeah,
Even like the most terrible person in the world drinks coffee, but the people that don't, evil.
Yeah, you're not allowed to drink coffee if you're a Rastafarian or have a heart condition.
Yes. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, no other explanation.
No other excuses.
So he goes in there, he gets sucked in.
Yep.
He goes off all the sensors and everything. No one knows where he is.
Yep.
Someone sees this happen.
Yep. Pulls on the cord that's connected to him.
Yep.
And then one of our like long-standing characters here that will survive, just like the guy who rescues everybody, and goes in and pulls him out.
Yeah, what's that guy's name? He was hilarious.
Oh, he was really funny. Oh my god, you look it up really quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, so he pulls him out of like the black hole basically, and the guy is Baby Bear is comatose, so he's not reacting to any stimuli. It looks like he's just like out of it for like a long while. And along with this, the gravity drive sends out like a pulse, which breaks the ship that they're traveling on, that they got there with, and then kind of leaves them stranded with the event horizon as the only place that they can stay in because oxygen levels are going down. There's like a breach in the other ship, and then they have to survive as best they can.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, Kevin, I think the reason we forgot his name is it's by far the most boring.
Okay, yeah.
His
What
name's
is it?
just Cooper.
Oh, it's Cooper. Okay, I thought it was like something C, but I wasn't like sure. But yeah, Cooper saves him, and Cooper is like one of the funniest guys in the film.
Yeah, he is by far the funniest person. He is like a weirdly well placed comic relief.
It's most like relatable.
Yeah, there's never a part in him where I'm like, that's unrealistic. This is
Yeah,
a man coping with stress with humor and doing it well and bringing up the like mood and spirits of his teammates while doing so.
yeah, and there is like there's like the lieutenant who's there, like the woman with like blonde
Yeah.
hair, who's like fine. You have like made to choke on that.
Oh God, Kevin, why do you keep doing stuff when I'm drinking coffee?
That's fair.
At least
Yeah,
it wasn't hot this time.
at least it wasn't out this. You have her. She's like I like her. She's good. You have DJ, which is the guy that you don't remember, who's the guy in charge of trauma.
Oh, that's right.
They
Yes.
make a joke out of that, right? Yeah,
Welcome. I'm DJ Trauma.
I'm DJ. I'm in charge of trauma. And he says it very like mopey and seriously, and everyone just like laughs at him, especially Cooper. And then you have like the bald headed. I think he is the pilot. Yeah, I forget his name. And then you have like the captain, which is Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, so we're just going to refer to him as Morpheus for this entire time.
Yeah, which would it's easier for you and us really. So
Also, it's not a perfect comparison. It's that guy got typecasted pretty hard.
I mean, yeah, he's also the crazy guy in John Wick.
Yeah, but he does that very good in a completely sane way. Like
7 bullets, $7 million. I love John Wick.
Yeah.
John Wick 2, still my favorite. But anyway, so they're stranded here.
Mhm.
Doctor Weir's acting weird.
Foreshadowing.
Ah. So they're stuck on this terrible kind of ship, and they're just trying to figure out their situation as best they can. And then some weird stuff starts happening from Doctor Weir.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, tell me what happened.
Okay. So some of the crew starts seeing hallucinations.
This is probably the most common thing that happens. And
Yeah.
for example, there's one woman who was supposed to be with her son, but kind of got called in to do this job, so she couldn't spend Christmas with him.
Yeah, the whole entire crew is very mad because they're supposed to be on leave, and then like this guy just got them commissioned to do this rescue mission last minute.
Yeah, which I mean, reasonable.
Very reasonable. Yeah. But yeah, she was supposed to be on leave, and then she's taking care of Baby Bear.
Yeah, I'm assuming the reason they calls her Baby Bear is it's like sort of a surrogate son mother thing.
Yeah, and she likes taking care of like the crew and whatever.
Yeah, no, you can have that maternal instinct with your crew. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, she starts to see like different hallucinations, and one of the hallucinations is like her son, who, by the way, it ends up being paralyzed from like the waist down, and she sees like him inside like this weird glass tube, and she pulls back like the sheet, and she sees his legs all kind of like cut up and destroyed, and then she starts freaking out. It's like it's a great scene.
Yeah, no, yeah, the marks on her legs look like some sort of like infected.
Yeah,
It
it's
was-
like ugh,
Yeah.
it's gross. It's
Once
so
again,
good.
if this was the theatrical version, I'm a little worried what the
About
real
the-
version
it
looked like.
the director's cut or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great scene.
Yeah.
That different sort of stuff starts happening with different parts of the crew,
Yeah,
especially Doctor Weir.
Yeah, many of the hallucinations involve like seeing people in their past being kind
Yeah.
of brought into the ship deeper into its bowels.
These deep dark secrets that they've never told anybody or
Yeah, and
experienced.
there's no way anyone else could know them.
Yeah, and then it's like the ship knows.
Kevin, how could the ship know?
How could a ship be alive?
Yeah, so cutting a little bit forward, that's the big reveal of this. The ship's alive! It's alive!
Yep.
And apparently screwing with them.
Yes, and I don't know. This makes sense to me in terms of like if you've seen The Conjuring or something like that, where
I have seen The Conjuring.
yeah, where an item is like possessed, right? And I guess the dimension that this ship went to,
Yeah, so there's apparently it didn't fold space to another point in our galaxy.
yeah,
It went to another universe where
another dimension or something.
yeah, the closest word for it is hell.
Yeah, a place of like pure chaos.
Yeah. Which by the way, we see a glimpse of what happened there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people like eating each other and like viscera, lots of viscera.
Yeah, free me from this hell with a guy just holding his own eyes.
Yeah, and one of my favorite lines in this film is Lawrence Morpheus Morpheus sees this. They manage to eventually get like this tape of like what happened to the crew and everything. So he sees what happens. We just see bits and cuts of it, but the whole crew looks like pale and like they're just watching like the worst thing ever. And he just like turns and looks at everybody, and says, "Yeah, we're leaving." Just like we're done.
Yep. Nope. Repair the ship. We're getting out of here.
Yep, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. What was their ship name? The Lewis and Clark.
Yes, it was like the Lewis and Clark. Yeah,
Yeah. This
good
is a great name for a ship, by the way.
Yeah, good reference. I
Uh,
like that.
so yeah, they start repairing their ship hardcore,
Yeah, like trying to get everything fixed as best they can.
and they do.
Yeah, and they do, and they succeed with that. Slowly as this is going on, Baby Bear tries to kill himself.
Yeah, Baby Bear is definitely insane.
Yeah, or it's been like touched, I guess, because he went over to that other side, and then something seemed to have taken him over and caused him to want him to kill himself.
Yeah. So he tries to like go out the airlock.
Yeah, which also a great scene.
Yeah. Which by the way he does until I think what Cooper's kind of swoops in from the outside and tackles him back.
Morpheus.
Morpheus, my bad. Yes, comes in from outside from working on the exterior of the ships in the
Yeah.
spacesuit and like tackles him in.
Yeah, it's he's in the airlock. He's disengaged the airlock. He's ready to like float out there in space and just die. And his eyes burst. Yeah, blood starts leaking out from his face. His veins start kind of like popping out. Like all this terrible stuff kind of happens, and then Morpheus dives in and saves him at the last second, which is awesome.
Yeah. I remember reading somewhere that like exposure to a vacuum
Yeah,
takes way longer to do shit than we think.
yeah, like it's a slow, painful death.
Yeah, so it's like should that have happened? Not necessarily, but I mean, still a good scene.
Still a good scene. Thematically, a good scene.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I don't know. Maybe that's what happens in space. I've never been to space.
Same here. Not been to space and don't plan on it because apparently things can get possessed by evil devils.
Uh, yeah, we're having an apocalypse on Earth, but have you really thought about what's happening on the moon?
I mean, there could be moon beasts.
Yeah, what if there's a moon apocalypse?
A moon ellipse?
A moon ellipse.
Not an eclipse, a moon ellipse. The worst possible thing.
Tomorrow the moon just explodes.
I mean, that would screw up thing. That'd be a bigger apocalypse down here as well.
Yeah.
Because water and waves and not good.
Yeah, no.
Who's to say it's not going to happen tomorrow?
Everyone be thankful for the moon.
The moon. Pray to the moon.
Pray to the moon. Give to Duncan's what is Duncan's. Give to
The
the
moon what is the moon's. Yes, of course. That's what we say every night before we go to sleep.
Yes.
clutching our Dunkin' Donuts free Bibles, and then also our Moon Bibles, or sorry, our Moon Bubbles.
All right. So
Yeah.
So the event horizon is actually separated into two sections.
Yeah, the section with the gravitational drive, and then the section where I guess is the
Everything else.
yeah, man, everything else. Yeah,
And in between, which the first thing I saw was when I saw the ship was, man, that's an awful design.
yeah.
It's sort of a long tube in between the two.
It's like an H.I. Geiger kind of looking
Yeah,
thing.
it's very strange looking.
Giger?
Geiger? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's this weird hallway, and in the middle of it is a bunch of blast charges, just explosives in case something happens. And the gravity core, they just have the second area, which can just become their lifeboat.
Yeah, which can blast them off, and then they can go forward.
Yeah. Main problem with this, and I mentioned this very early on in the movie, and I did not realize it was going to come into play.
You're okay. Yeah.
There's like 8 of these bombs.
Yeah.
They're maybe a foot by a foot. They're not very large.
No, they're pretty small. You could fit it inside like a locker, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you could.
they're just there.
Yeah.
They're not behind anything. There's no metal case around them.
To be fair, at least it seems like they're kind of welded in, like at least like a little bit, because like they're connected to something. It's not just like you can just rip it out, I guess. Even though one person does do that.
Yeah, I feel like you could just have like a metal ring around all of them and it look like the
It'd be safer.
Point.
Yeah.
And like no one would know they're there if they didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't, let's say, be transporting something heavy from one side of the ship to the other and have something accidentally fall on a bomb.
I mean, yeah, but
especially when, let's say, gravity goes out for a second.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I
Like,
forgot about
yeah.
that.
By the way, when they're first exploring the ship, there's no air in here. There's also no gravity.
Yes, because it got because like the electricity went so
Yeah,
or whatever
those
powered
don't
it.
get. Yeah, they reboot that pretty quickly. But there's still like a point where there's no gravity, and imagine things just floating around in there,
Yeah,
and then gravity gets put back on and falls on the bomb.
yeah, and causes a well, you know what? That would have been great.
Yeah, that actually could have been
Yeah,
a
they
really
could
good
have
scene.
saved all their lives.
Yeah. But anyways, turns out Doctor Weird, who's going more and more insane about his dead wife.
Yeah, and it's like infecting his mind basically.
Yeah. He grabs one of the bombs, puts it on the Lewis and Clark.
Yep.
Several of the crew members see him running off.
Yep.
They One of them is walking by and sees that there's a bomb missing,
Yes,
and
Morpheus.
Morpheus, and just warns everyone to get off. And what was it, DJ that finds it?
No, DJ's on the ship. He the pilot does. The
Well, the
pilot.
pilot,
He's
he
like looking around like trying to find it because he doesn't want to go on the ship. He does not want to go on the event horizon because it's evil. It's evil and bad.
I mean, does this end up killing him? Yeah.
But he would rather prefer that than going on Lewis and Clark. I'm going off the Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, also the right decision.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he did find it. To be fair to him,
Yeah, like
he just had 6 seconds left.
yeah, it was. He did find the bomb. He did not have time to disarm it or throw it out in space, whatever he was planning to
Yeah, I mean, that's a good scene in itself too, because as soon as he finds it and he sees that it's like 6 seconds, he doesn't like say anything or anything like that. He just like looks down for a second and he closes his eyes and he's like, "Oh God,"
do.
and
Yeah,
it's a good scene.
yeah, no, it was a very real reaction.
Yeah,
It wasn't like despair. It was just like, well, there goes all the hope.
yeah. That my hope is now gone because I just fixed the ship with Cooper, and also Cooper is on the outside of it at the as the as the ship explodes.
Yeah, yeah. Cooper gets thrown up into space,
Yep,
and he realizes he has one shot.
yep,
So what happens is he blows his own oxygen tank to be a propellant to shoot him towards the event horizon.
yep. Saves himself.
Yeah, gets on there.
Yep, and then he saves everybody else by circumstance in a little bit.
Yeah, so Morpheus at this point is pissed.
Well, yeah, and
Doctor Weird is going full on psycho mode. He's
yeah,
having more visions. His dead wife is telling him to join him.
yeah.
Uh,
Stay here with me
forever.
forever.
Oh, it was his wife killed herself, right?
Yeah, she committed suicide in like the tub.
She had nothing to do with the event horizon.
No, it's just like you said earlier, like the ship preys on your weaknesses.
Right. I honestly kept looking in the background for her when they were like
Yeah.
showed the clips because I was like, oh, she must be part of the Event Horizon crew. That's why she keeps coming up.
Oh no, no, it was just she killed herself while he was like busy with work, and he always kind of like regretted that ever since. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But he puts out his own eyes and starts cutting himself and doing
yeah.
all these weird things.
And says one of my favorite lines, where we're going, you don't need eyes to see it. It's like that's great.
Yeah, that's at the top creepiest lines.
Yeah, I love that. That and like the we're leaving are like two
Yeah,
of my favorite lines.
yeah, there are some excellent one-liners in this.
Yes, 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 yes.
But anyways, Morpheus starts hunting him down, grabs like a bolt gun.
Yep, to kill him and shoot him.
Yeah. Weird is going along. There's one other crewmate,
Oh, the lieutenant.
lieutenant on the ship, and
And
she's
DJ gets killed hard.
yeah. Please go on to DJ's death.
Okay. So DJ's the lead trauma guy. Morpheus tells him that, well, when you see Weir, take him out. And DJ grabs like a knife and like, yeah, he's a whatever kind of guy. I'll cut him and everything.
I
So
mean, at this point, if
yeah.
someone told me to like that guy needs to die,
yeah,
I would have like got it.
yeah, you got it, boss. All right, and let me worry about Doctor Weir. And then immediately, eyeless Doctor Weir just turns around, grabs his throat, and lifts him up. He has like superhuman strength at this point, for some reason. I don't know why. Just infected with the ship, I guess. And then he does some things to Mr. DJ, which is not great. He puts him onto an examination table, cuts open his stomach, pulls back his skin with like hooks and needles and lines, and yeah, just like terrible, terrible, terrible things.
Yeah, his organs sort of fall out.
Yeah, fall out, and he's like a I don't know, like a piece of meat in like a butcher shop where like the ribs are out and like you see like the skin kind of like meh and
Yeah. Once again, this may
Theatrical.
have been the theatrical version.
yeah, and you just see that, and that's
I don't know
It's
what.
rated R.
Yeah, if this wasn't the uncut version, I do not know or want to know
What was
what's in
in
the
the
uncut version.
that's an interesting thing to just like look up later if you're interested. If you are interested, Ted is not. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I was very much on the interpretation of this must have been the theatrical version once I found that out.
right.
And Kevin here seems pretty certain that no, this is the theatrical version.
I'm pretty sure because I remember watching this as a kid, and then that scene was always in there. So I think that's the theatrical version.
Okay, terrifying. Um,
But yes, as we go on here, the final confrontation, or one of the final confrontations, because there's like two, between Dr. Weir and Morpheus.
yes, the Doctor Weird goes on to explain that they didn't travel to another point; they traveled to hell,
Yeah,
and the ship became alive, and
yeah,
blah de blah de blah. And for some reason, they need to go back to hell. And while the ship may have killed its own crew the first time, now it has a new crew.
crew. Yeah,
Now that wasn't me and Kevin like being weird with our normal like saying things. He does kind of say it like that.
he does. Yeah, and yeah, the ship is alive, which we've said before, and it wants Morpheus, it wants Doctor Weir, and wants everybody else just to suffer an eternal punishment, I guess.
Yeah, it was more angry than anything that the Lewis and Clark like blew up though. Kind of, it did it, I guess. I mean, some people
Yeah.
died in the process. It's not that the ship blew up; it's that they didn't get more people.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. So, I mean, there's that going on, and here's the thing: Doctor Weir has no eyes, but he has a ranged weapon.
Yeah, and
And
now up until this point, he seemed to have had perfect sight.
yeah,
However, he misses.
he. Well, there's a funny line in it too, where Morpheus says, like, "If you miss me, you're gonna blow like a hole out like the window or something, and then you're gonna cause a break, and then we're all gonna die." And Weir says, like, "Oh, what makes you think I'm gonna miss?" Says the man with no eyes.
Yeah,
And then comes in your favorite character, Cooper. He floats from outside space, hits the window. Doctor Weir shoots towards Cooper.
and blows out the window, which by the way just seems to be made of glass.
Yeah, it's yeah, pretty thick glass, probably. I would think
Yeah, I like the Star Trek explanation.
aluminum or what was it? What is it?
I thought it was titanium, but now you said aluminum, and that's in my brain.
Yeah, I think it's like clear aluminum is
Yeah,
like the
it's
glass.
clear metal.
Yeah, and then that's like what it's not glass, but that's what it's made out of. So you don't have those kind of situations, I
Yeah, it's like
guess.
no, he's used clear metal.
Yeah, but yeah. So that happens. Doctor Weir gets dragged out into space to presumably die, and everyone else gets saved, and Cooper gets back onto the ship himself, along with like Lieutenant and Morpheus. Well, there's one problem.
The gravity drive is activated,
Yes, and it's gonna take them all back to hell.
and they have what 8 minutes?
Yeah, 8 minutes or something similar to that. And also, during this whole entire time, they've been like losing oxygen. So
Oh
if
yeah, that's right. That was an entire plot point throughout this entire film. That there is this like
there's like this
yeah
clicking bomb, kind of like
yeah it's not even a bump. It's a much more slow and painful death.
yeah, where they're gonna like lose and asphyxiate themselves, basically.
Yeah, and now a lot of the air just got pulled out into the vacuum of space.
Well, there's that too. Yes. So their plan is to use the charges there, blow off from the gravity drive, so they don't get pulled into it, and hopefully send out like an emergency beacon that someone comes and saves them, and they'll stay in stasis so they don't die.
Which is a good plan, honestly.
It's a great plan. One little hiccup though. One little hiccup. So they're going to do that, and then a la The Shining, there's a giant like pool of blood that just bursts from one of the stasis pods.
Yeah, honestly, Kevin, I just gave Kevin a look because, like, wait, what's the problem? And I was like, wait, oh, that's right, that's right. There's a giant wave of blood. How did I forget the giant wave of blood?
And the Captain Morpheus is going to activate all the bombs so they can blow off and everything. And then he gets chased by a giant fire demon. That's his personal fear.
Yeah, I mean, so part of his like inner demon sort of thing is early in his search and rescue career, he lost a crew member.
Yep.
Kind, it wasn't his fault, but there was a fire spraying the ship, and the guy was caught in there, and he had to shut the door and save himself and the others. There was nothing he could do,
Yeah.
but he's always regretted it, and it's a reasonable thing.
And a good line too in that is like, have you ever seen fire in zero gravity? It's beautiful. It's like waves. And it kept on hitting him over and over and over.
Yeah, which
Like,
I don't think is how fireworks
No, I don't think so either. But it's a good line.
Well, no, I remember seeing like a lighter in space.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but like fire goes straight up when we do it on Earth.
Yeah.
It becomes a sphere in space. It goes out in all directions equally.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
really
cool.
Like, yeah, no, fire doesn't go in waves in space. It becomes orbs.
There's orbs in space. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so just it wouldn't be wave after wave. It'd be sphere upon sphere, fastballs of flame scorching his flesh.
Ah, that's good. I like that. All right.
Yeah, there we go. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
If I was going to redo that scene, that's how I would
Rewrite
say
it.
it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
That's the slightly more, to my understanding, scientifically accurate version.
Scientifically accurate.
Accurate.
Science.
Yeah, African.
Scientifically
I bless
African.
the rains down in African. Oh dear God. Kevin, that's why we can't do this in the morning.
Well, it always goes off the rails. So
choo choo. Anyways.
So, as that goes on, he jumps away from the giant fire demon because it could literally burn him. And he goes through the spike door. Luckily, a la Resident Evil, where that guy just like jumps through the lasers, and he jumps through the door, saves himself that way. But he's got the charge in his hand to blow up the ship or blow off that part of the ship. And Dr. Weir is alive,
And there.
and because the ship brought him back.
Yeah, and covered in scars, I believe, if I remember.
Yeah, he comes back like I don't know, like a guy, like Pinhead, like the guy.
Yeah,
from, like,
he has a lot of weird face scars. He's completely bald at this point.
He's like naked and
Does he have his eyes back too?
he has his eyes back too. It's just like he reformed a new body and just getting himself over to it, I guess. So yeah, he's just like kicking the crap out of Morpheus.
Yep, but Morpheus does eventually grab the trigger.
Yep. And he says, the first movie I was in was pretty good, and all the other following Matrix movies were pretty bad. And then he blows up the ship.
Weird last words for
A
breaking
man who's
continuity here, but
he's probably seen the Matrix.
that's a weird thought. Seeing yourself in a... Anyways, before I think of the weird metaphysical implications of all of this,
Yeah.
he blows it up, separates the ships. Now, this does in fact condemn him to hell.
But you know what? Last one to leave the ship. I was gonna say the captain's the last one to leave the ship, but
Oh, I thought it was Kupo left the ship last.
no, it was Cooper and the
Oh,
lieutenant.
my bad.
Yeah. We're both in like the stasis, like trying to get off and everything, and he
chooses... that's what you meant. That's what you meant. My bad.
So he chooses to save them,
Yes.
and then like kill himself with Weir, so that way his crew doesn't get into everlasting hell for the rest of their lives.
Or maybe just 7 more years. Who knows? That's how long the Event Horizon disappeared the first time. Maybe he'll be back in 7 years.
I mean, this is prime for a sequel.
Is there a sequel?
No.
Good.
I mean, it could have been. Yeah, you're right. It could only get worse, really.
Yeah, no, I don't want a sequel.
No, same here. But Ted, after seeing the film, what would you rate it?
All right, I would give this movie.
How'd you like the SpongeBob ads in between that broke up the tension?
Yeah. Okay, so look, Amazon Prime has done this thing now where even if you pay them now to watch their movies, you still have to pay them to watch a lot of movies.
Well, some movies are free. Some movies are free, but with ads.
Yep, and we watched it free about that, and we got basically nothing but SpongeBob Battle for the Bikini Bottom remastered
Ads.
and a
skincare.
Moisturizing skincare ad.
And I think like one more that kept on popping up, and I think it was
toothpaste. We got
toothpaste. Yeah. Not even toothpaste. It was just like a toothbrush that was really cool.
Oh, that's right. It was electric toothbrush.
Yeah, it's a jazzy toothbrush. Yeah.
Oh, man,
Try to be hip for the kids.
Look, honestly, I didn't mind it because it gave like cell phone breaks in the movie.
Yeah, and bathroom breaks or whatever.
Yeah, like we analyzed them. Not yet. Utilized them.
Utilize there. We didn't analyze the commercials.
We kind of did. We spent a lot of time thinking about the commercials.
Well, we had like this little bet, like, so what do you think like the next like very impactful scene is gonna have like a random SpongeBob ad just like cut it off? It doesn't like warn you that an ad's coming up. It just like interrupts the movie in a really awkward, terrible way and goes like, and then you have to watch a stupid ad.
Yeah, I feel like ad technology is getting slowly better. Like
very slowly.
I think like YouTube now lets the person making the video pick where the ads go.
And obviously, you should always pick at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like if they're gonna have a middle ad, it's no longer in the middle of a sentence or word.
Yeah, which that was always terrible.
Yeah, that was very jarring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree.
But so was seeing a man eat another person's arm.
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. Which SpongeBob has eaten his own arms before.
Coincidence? Yes, yes, it was. But no, I would give this movie um probably 10 horribly scarred survivors out of 12.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I would say also similar. I would go maybe like a little bit higher because I love this movie from childhood, basically. 11 out of 12 scarred survivors. They could have had more gore, which I think would be better.
I really have to look up whether or not we watched the theatrical or the special edition version at this point.
I would think it's like the theatrical just because it was free on Amazon Prime. So
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. Like it's now the idea has been introduced in my brain, like it's
right,
gone to hell briefly,
yeah,
and for some reason I need more despite the torture it will bring upon me. And I kind of am morbidly curious about if this isn't the real version, what the real version
version
was.
is
Like,
yeah.
yeah, what did they cut out? Because there's a lot of like we skipped over
What is
a
the
lot
real?
of
Yeah.
like their visions and like their flashbacks. We're just gonna say it's disturbing because frankly Kevin went into way too much detail with the hook thing,
Well,
and that was not the worst.
you don't see like you don't see DJ's vision. So I would like to see like more of the crew members like fears,
Oh
and you could
God, what if? Ooh,
yeah.
maybe,
What if his like vision was like him getting like that kind of stuff happening to him
yeah, maybe that's
because he had that scar down like the center of his body.
yeah, which never. Ugh. Oh
So
crap, this is probably the theatrical version then.
yeah, it's this is the theatrical version just because they didn't explain like yeah nothing happened to Cooper really. He was mostly fine. If I was Cooper, I'd be like, okay, I'm outside the ship. I'm just sealing things up. I don't have to deal with all that crazy crap that's
Yeah,
on the event horizon.
Cooper had a fine time.
Yeah, and so did like the so did what's his name? I forget his name, but the pilot. He had like a fine time too. He was mostly on the ship fixing it as well. The only thing like he was going crazy because nobody believed him about Doctor Weir being a crazy man.
I mean, in his defense, he was right.
Yeah, he was right the whole time. But yeah, we really enjoyed the movie. I hope you guys watch the movie as well. It's a great Halloween scare. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yep, I got nothing to say other than uh, this made me picking an RPG super easy because there is an obvious answer.
Yeah, and I can't wait till next week when we play it.
All right. Dear God, if we have to play this, no, we're just making characters, Kevin.
Right. Sorry, rephrased. Making characters at.
Yeah, no, I am not running a campaign of this.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
All right, everyone. Hope you survive the apocalypse. Praise Duncans. Give thanks to the moon.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yep. And hope you guys have a nice good old fashioned time.
Have a holly jolly ween.
That sounds so bad. All right. Goodbye, everybody.